back to Rays of Tarot. In today's pick a card, pick a pile, pick a crystal reading, we're going to look into essentially whatever it is that the universe wants to come through to you with. So we're going to leave a completely blank slate to the cards, to your spirit guides, to your angels, whatever it is, like your higher self, the universe, whatever it is that you feel connected to or you feel called to. We're going to leave them a blank space to essentially come through to you with whatever it is that you need a little bit of help with, like some pep talk about, or positive words of affirmation, some encouragement, since we do have quite some pretty heavy, very powerful energies come through in this channel always. But sometimes things can get a little heavy. Like there's definitely a lot of like shadow aspects, which of course it's very, very helpful, very necessary work. But also I don't want to only focus on that, and I definitely also want to make space for essentially like more love and light aspects, since yeah, I also want to provide you guys with a little bit more of encouragement and sometimes just a little bit more lighthearted and just very light and positive messages, okay? So I definitely will continue doing all of the like shadow work and that type of readings, because that's just up my lane completely, and I love doing that. I will never stop doing that. That's just my lifetime's work. But also sometimes I just want to make space for you to like sit back and relax and just enjoy and be aware of how far you've come, and just allow yourself to take some praise and some positive messages from the universe, okay? So that is the goal with this reading. You can definitely resonate with more than one pile. These were also a little bit shorter than usual, since the goal with these piles is, I think I managed, I'm not entirely sure yet, we will see when I will have edited this video. But these messages are meant to be a little bit more like like shorter and straight to the point. I mean, my readings can sort of like go on for hours and hours and billions of hours. Okay, that's a little bit of an exaggeration, but you know what I mean. I can talk a lot. So I wanted to keep these a little bit more straight to the point. So that's what I tried to do. And yeah, I really hope that you find some positive upliftment and positive energy and just warmth, I guess, and encouragement in these readings. Definitely feel free to check out more than one pile if you feel called to. But yeah, enough babbling. So for the piles, we have pile 1 with this beautiful shiny queen of a citrine cluster. Next, for pile 2, we have this cute little Sunstone tumbled crystal. Next, for pile 3, we have this beautiful Amazonite raw stone. And finally, for pile 4, we have this gorgeous tiger eye tumbled stone. Look at her shine. So definitely feel free to pause the video if needed to sit a little bit with the crystals and with the piles. Again, it's totally normal to feel attracted to more than one pile. These will always, tarot readings always only shine light on one specific aspect of a person or situation or connection. So definitely don't get too caught up in like the one specific thing that you're hearing, because that's never the full picture of what is going on, okay? Definitely do feel free to leave me a comment down below letting me know how this resonated. As always, I say it means so much to me to know how these readings land on the other side of the screen, essentially, because when I'm doing collective readings, I just, you know, there's no one there giving me feedback directly. So it's always just very nice to see how it lands. And also feel free to leave a like and subscribe, as that really helps me with the algorithm. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in your pile. Hi pile 1! So if you chose this beautiful shiny citrine cluster right here, this is going to be your reading, and I am so excited to dive into it. This is the first pile, of course, of the 3 or 4, I don't know how many I'm going to do, but this is the first pile, and I'm really freaking excited because I'm doing something a little different. I'm going to try to do my best to keep these a little bit short and compact, since I do have a tendency to sort of like speak for 30 billion hours. The purpose of these readings is basically to allow the universe to come through to you with whatever it is, whatever type of like pep talk, encouragement, positive talk, like any positive messages that you might need to hear at this time. Since we are on this channel, especially doing a lot of things like shadow work and, you know, healing work, which can get a little dark and heavy, and I really wanted to do something lighter and hopefully still very powerful. But yeah, something a little bit lighthearted that will give you some comfort to your heart, and just provide you with some love. Like, we don't need tough love all the time, okay? Some love, some loving love. Some sunshines and rainbows sometimes is really nice. So yeah, I have a couple of oracle cards, nothing too crazy, just 4 cards essentially to read a bit into your energy and the things that the universe or your guides or your angels, whatever it is that you feel that is coming through to you through these cards. Whatever it is that they want to let you know about, and then afterwards we're going to look into the tarot and essentially also just see whatever it is that it needs to come through. So either something that is coming to you, or just going a little bit more in depth about how great you're doing, essentially. And yeah, so we're just going to leave a little bit of a blank slate to the cards today, which is really nice. So yeah, without further ado, let's see what we have here. We have, I respect the property of others. We have number 13 with the Heart Eater. We have a balanced life with love seeks your well-being. And last but not least, we have 15 with compassion. And this card reads, the frequency of compassion supports our ability to stand by others without judgment and be the divine mediator between heaven and earth, spirit and matter, so that unconditional love can flow from source through our heart and into the world. First of all, I want to say with this compassion energy and the mediator between the earth realm and the spirit realm, you might have like strong Mercury energy. It doesn't have to necessarily with some of you. If that's the confirmation, take that as it resonates. So what spirit or your spirit guides want you to know is that it's okay to make mistakes. First of all, that's the very first thing that comes through. It's okay to make mistakes with others and also with yourself. Like, this is a call for you to be more compassionate with yourself. For you to also to know that it's okay to demand or like want compassion from others. Like, I feel like you might be one of those people who is very who doesn't have trouble with saying like, oh yeah, I made this mistake and I understand it if you hate me. I completely understand it if you want to ignore my messages for like a billion years. I also wouldn't talk to myself if I were you, because I'm a little piece of shit. But that is not the case. You are actually, I feel like you have such a very beautiful, bubbly, very genuine young energy, like almost childlike energy. And you definitely have a very pure heart, but sometimes you might be a little bit too hard on yourself and too hard on your heart. Like, I do feel like you do seek balance. Like, you have very likely a balanced energy between masculine and feminine. Like, you might not identify as like super feminine or super masculine all of the time. You might be a little bit somewhat gender fluid. This doesn't have to be any specific like gender identity. It's just like a matter of energy. Like, your birth chart might also be like 50-50 masculine feminine energy, things like that. And this is definitely telling you to not take yourself and life so seriously, okay? Because you might be someone who is very much like who loves doing things like shadow work and just like healing inner child work, just like working on yourself a lot, because you have this urge to expand. I want to say also your mind, and urge to expand yourself. Like, you have tasted how good growth and healing tastes, and you want more. Like, you constantly want to better yourself, also for yourself and also for others, and especially for others. Like, with I respect the property of others, this is not necessarily about property in this reading per se, but I feel like you are very easily accepting and understanding of other people's processes. Like, you're like, if someone is in darkness or shadow, you're like, oh yes, I completely understand, and like, you don't have to sort of like force yourself out of it. Like, it's okay to be there at this time, and at the same time, like, if other people have like successes and accomplishments, you're very much you're basically almost like the mom friend, I want to say. Like, you're always there for others, and you care about other people so much, and like your friends and your loved ones. You're so giving all of the freaking time, and that's beautiful. Like, people love you for that, and that's a beautiful trait to have. But you're not so understanding of yourself all of the freaking time. Like, you might sometimes bypass your own feelings, or override your own self and your own heart, and be like, okay, so now I don't have to be so emotionally invested all of the time. Like, you might consider yourself to be overly sensitive sometimes. And this also doesn't come from anywhere, like it doesn't come from nowhere. I mean, you probably have learned this growing up. Some people might have told you like, oh, you're too sensitive, and people might have scorned you for like crying, or for even for being too happy sometimes. Or there's this need of sort of like pushing down your own emotions, while you're so willing to make other people feel comfortable in their own emotions around you. Like, you might definitely be that type of friend that is always there and very happy to listen to other people, but when it's time to like talk about your own things, you're like, I don't know, I don't feel so comfortable doing that. And this is probably something that you have been learning, especially if you do resonate with this reading. This is something that you might have been learning over the past, I would say, months or years, depending on your own journey. This is definitely something that you have to come to terms with, because you cannot forget yourself in the process. And the universe is literally saying, like, you deserve to create time and space for yourself, like with yourself, but also with other people. Like, allow other people to extend that same compassion that you extend to them. Allow them to extend that to you. And also you yourself, allow yourself to, you have this compassion and this love, and you're always giving it so freely to others, just because it gives you so much joy, and it's such a pure energy to have and to be in. But don't forget to keep a little bit for yourself. And it's not that if you keep some for yourself, there's literally less to give to others. No, if anything, there's more for everyone around you too. So like, it's not only going to benefit you if you love and have more compassion towards yourself, it's also going to overflow into other people. Like, it's this image of this cup, like your own cup. If you fill your own cup, then you can overextend, like you can extend that love and compassion and beautiful energy to others, just out of all of the love and abundance that is overflowing in your own cup. Like, you will give from, I want to say, like an excess of love and beautiful energy present within you. Of course, it's not an excess. That's how it's supposed to even work. Like, you have so much beauty and grace and compassion and gratitude within yourself that it just cannot help but pour onto others as well. And with this balanced life, like, love seeks your well-being. This is, first of all, telling you to, there might be some people who take advantage of your availability and of your compassion, of your loving energy, and who only maybe contact you or get in touch with you when they need to like vent, or when they need something, but they might not even be really very much aware, or like very much willing to make space for you as well. And this card, this balanced life card, is really telling you to be aware of the people who actually want your well-being, and the people who actually want to keep you in their life because they benefit from it. Does that make sense? So like, some people really want to be there for you, but you might not even allow them to, because you might be a little bit closed off when it comes to your own emotions and your own heart, in that sense. Like, when it comes to when it comes to share about yourself and pieces of yourself, in that sense, and being vulnerable yourself. I don't know where I was going exactly. Oh yeah, make discernment between those people who want your well-being, and those people who only want you in their life because they can get something out of you, and because they see your beautiful energy, but they're only gaining from that. They're only thinking about what they can gain from you, and they only think about basically how you can serve them, and they're never concerned about making sure that you're okay, and they're never concerned about, treating you the way that you deserve to be treated. They never really see you for you, but they see you rather for what you can give them, if that makes sense. Okay, so let's see the tarot, what they have to say. Anything that needs to come through, or anything that is coming towards you. Let's see what this is going to be about. So, what does pile 1 need to hear at this time? you have, okay, so we have the world in reverse with the fixed energy, so Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus, and a Leo. I almost want to ask, like, what is coming for pile one? Oh, Three of Wands. So I want to say, like, a manifestation that you have. This could be a person with all, like with these fixed energies. It could be someone that you have been waiting for to actually literally come back from either traveling or from somewhere. But let's see. I don't want to get ahead of myself. Let's put it that way. Let's see what else is coming for pile one. What is coming for pile one? What is coming for pile one? The Page of Cups. Yeah, this definitely might be about someone. I'm getting very timidly flirtatious energies with this. So this probably is not, you might actually be meeting someone from the internet very soon. This is something that's very specific coming through for some of, oh my god, we have the Star. Oh, this is so cute. Yeah, for some of you, this definitely might be like, you might be meeting someone that you like or that you fancy from the internet. This doesn't have to be like necessarily a strictly romantic interest, but this definitely is someone who, like, if this is a person, this is definitely someone who is very, very interesting to you, I want to say, and that you had been probably waiting for a while now. Nine of Wands. Now I want to take clarifiers right away. What about this World card? What about this World card? You might be a little bit afraid to put yourself out there in the world, I'm getting, but if you're reading this, if you're resonating with this reading, then you might know that the universe, like, this might just be where's the card? Where did it go? Oh. This might just be like an extra confirmation, just like another synchronicity of the universe telling you, like, you need to put yourself out there. Like, it's time for you to put yourself out there because there's beautiful things for you to come in. We have the Six of Wands. Then, I don't know why I said that weird. What about the Three of Wands? What about the Three of Wands? We have everything is fine. What about the Page of Cups? Do you have to take these both? I guess we're just going to take them like this. We have, actually, I don't want to take reversals for this, because this one also, I don't feel called to take reversals. I usually take them, but sometimes in some piles, I'm being told not to, so we're just going to follow that. We have the Magician, as well as the Seven of Swords. That is interesting. That is very interesting. What about the Star? We have the Two of Wands. Hello, Star. And what about the Nine of Wands? Do we have to take this? I guess we're just gonna take this. We have the Queen of Cups to clarify the Nine of Wands. Okay, so, and on the back of the deck we have the Emperor. I don't know why I'm doing these weird voices today, but I want to see what's below that. We have the Hierophant and the Page of Swords. Okay, so for some of you this is interesting because it does look like we have someone coming in that you might not trust, that has like either a tricky energy or that really only wants to take from you rather than give to you as well. This is telling me, like, you have to keep your own energy to yourself. Like, this is really going back to, don't overextend yourself and only extend your energy and your love and your compassion to the people who are equally willing to do that with you. There might be someone coming into your life with this Magician energy and like the Seven of Swords. We also have, yeah, again, Mercury energy here. The Star, we have Aquarius, and then we have Well, we have some wands, so fire energy and sword energy, but you know, that would be a whole freaking zodiac. And we have Aries with the Emperor. But what I'm getting here is you need to focus on yourself first of all. You need to keep your energy to yourself, and you need to be aware that other people cannot touch you in that sense. Like they cannot latch onto your energy unless you let them. You cannot. There's this energy of like the Nine of Wands is sort of like also a distrustful energy, and especially like it's looking at the star. If something is coming in, like either I'm seeing this as a personal success, like I'm seeing this energy of this person coming in as an external energy. Take that as it resonates, but you're looking very often. Yeah, this could definitely also be about an actual relationship, but you're looking very often at things coming in, like at your at beautiful things coming in for your like desires and sort of like dreams come true with a very skeptical eye. You're like, this is too good to be true. The problem with that is, I mean, it's good to be aware of. It's good to not be delusional, I want to say, all of the freaking time. But it's also like, on the other hand, you should also not be too distrustful of the universe when they actually hand you good things. Of course, it's also very important to recognize the people that are only in your life to play, or that they're only in your life for a short time and a good time and not for a long time. And you should just know what you want. Like if you know what you want, also in terms of like relationships with people, you should know what you want. If you know what you want from your connections with people, which the universe honestly is telling you, like the cards are telling you, like you should have balanced connections with others, like mutually respectful and mutually loving and caring, genuine connections. If you know what you want your connections to look like, then it will be easy for you to distinguish those tricky energies and those, I want to say, energy vampires. You will be able to distinguish those from actually genuinely nurturing. Look at this Queen of Cups has like mermaid vibes. I love it. You'll be able to distinguish those. And if you trust yourself, you don't even need to trust others, because others can do whatever they please. They can lie to you. They can try to take advantage of you and everything like that. But if you trust yourself, and if your energy is compacted within yourself, I want to say, and you trust yourself, and you have a clear vision and clear desires and clear goals, then there's nothing that those people can do to you. They have nothing on you. They got nothing on you. Like even with this everything is fine card, like people might even like, I don't know, talk behind your back or like try to hurt you and everything. But if you know your worth, and if you know your worth, and you know your light, and you know where you stand, then there's nothing that these people can do. They ain't got nothing on you. That's what I keep want to say. Yeah, and especially this is especially about like know your worth. Respect yourself, I want to say. Like you respect others so much, and like you overextend this compassionate, beautiful energy towards others. But you should also take that same energy and give that to yourself first. Like you should not give that energy to others in despite of your own energy. This star card is also telling you to pour your energy into different resources. So like this card is very much also about like the five senses and being in touch with the world around you, like both the earthly 3D realm and sort of like higher realms. This is really telling you to also this balanced life. Yeah, there's this energy between like be grounded but also raise your frequency. Be aware of your own inner higher world. Like be in touch with your higher self. This might actually be a message from your higher self calling you to sort of like be in touch with her. I want to say it doesn't have to be, you don't have to be a her. It could be a they, it could be a he, doesn't matter. But your higher self really wants to be in touch with you. And honestly, what your higher self is, between all those like entities like angels and guides and everything, like your higher self is essentially, she's always, she, he, it doesn't matter. Your higher self is always, it's literally seated within you. What your higher self is basically like the most healed, bright, independent from like societal conditioning and childhood conditioning version of yourself that you have. So you're always connected and in touch to your higher self. Your higher self knows the truth. I guess your higher self is also strictly connected to the energy of your heart. We have the heart eater here. But your higher self is also very much tied to your intuition, I want to say. If your intuition is something that you have been meaning to get closer to, then this is definitely a call to do so. Because you can navigate your inner and outer worlds, as well as like higher worlds. You can navigate all of that through your intuition. And this is really your higher self saying like, listen, I know you've been hurt in the past, and that's probably because you have not been setting up your own boundaries the best, because you probably never learned how to. But it's time to freaking step up your game, because you can. Because you have been, I want to say, so, sort of like playing small. Like you don't, sometimes you might not dare to put yourself out there. Was I literally just saying this earlier? Like it's time to put yourself out there? I think I did. Yeah, and it's time to claim your space as the badassness that exists within you. And perhaps this is also really a call for you to actually start looking into those like spiritual practices or spiritual topics or whatever that have been calling you for so long, and pour into yourself like that. Like if things like astrology have been calling to you, if things like numerology have been calling to you, if you've been wanting to do tarot for yourself, if you've been getting into alchemy, if you've been getting into the freaking Tao Te Ching, I don't know, anything that has been calling your attention, like you deserve to pour your energy into those things. Like make time for yourself, like put aside like a couple minutes every single day for yourself, for your passions. Even if these are things like making art or like learning a new craft, like doing macrame or whatever, like making dream catchers, like anything that you want to do that feeds your soul, your higher self really wants you to put that energy into that. Okay, I think that's all we have for now. I want to take some little advice for you from the little advice. So some advice for you from the Starseed Oracle. The Starseed Oracle. What messages do we have for pile 1? What does pile 1 need to know right now? We have child of the cosmos, the intelligence of the universe lies within you. This is definitely a call to explore your inner universe, like the fact that the universe is outside of you but also inside of you. That is a call to explore that. Explore outer and inner worlds, lower and higher worlds. What else do we have for pile 1? Oh. Yeah, loosen your grip, coping mechanisms, density, addiction, let God in. Exactly, like God or source or spirit, whatever you want to call it, your higher self even cannot come into your being, into your consciousness, if you're constantly in your brain, I want to say. This is definitely a call for meditation, to allow that connection with higher realms and like spirits and whatever, and like your spirit guides, I figure. They cannot come into contact with you if your brain is constantly occupied with things like social media and even homework and work. You really have to make some time for stillness and for, I want to say, almost boredom. Like, you should not be afraid of boredom. Like, leave your phone on the table when you go to the toilet. Don't bring it with you everywhere you go. Allow for some space to be created within you. Like, there's this practice in some type of, I'm not entirely sure, but there's this practice that people leave like an empty shelf, at least an empty shelf in like some type of what is it called, in a wardrobe or like on a bookshelf. They leave like an empty shelf because not every single space needs to be filled for the sake of being filled. Like, we humans are terrified of empty spaces. We always want to fill everything. Like, even think about like empty corners in houses. There always has to be like either a plant or like some type of like filling, because for some reason we're so scared of like empty spaces, and this is really calling you to like don't be afraid of empty spaces within yourself, because there are things that can grow from there, that you don't have to put something there in place, because something, if there's an empty space, it means that something has to come out and come through by itself. Jump in, Andromedan energy, adventure, say yes to change. You might want to like switch up your decor, or switch up your like the composition of your room or of your studio or something like that. Just change your environment in that sense, like redecorate, I don't know, paint your walls or something like that. There's this need of like refreshment for sure. I want to take some Moonology cards for you. Let's see. What does Moonology have to tell pile 1? Dear pile 1. Moonology has the following things to say to you. What do we have to say to pile 1, Moonology? Oh, do we need these? Okay, we're gonna take these. We have the end of a tough cycle approaches, full moon in Capricorn. Exactly. So if you have been struggling, this is definitely something is switching in you. And that is like your higher self wants to give you a confirmation that if you have been feeling like you have been going through this cycle and growing through these cycles, this is definitely your higher self telling you you're not going to be looping forever. Like, you're getting there. You're getting there and you're doing freaking amazing. Your hard work is paying off. New moon in Capricorn. So we have 2 Capricorn moons, which is interesting. I'm going to take one more. And see exactly like this your hard working is paying off with new moon in Capricorn. It's just like your higher self commending you for all that you have been doing. Exactly, like earlier I was saying like, oh, you might be someone who is... I'm sorry, there's someone using a blender in the background, so if you hear that, try to ignore that, I guess. But you might be someone who is very much into things like self-improvement and self-help and shadow work, things like that, and inner child work. Like, all those things are definitely paying off. It's not for nothing. Like, you have been gaining so much wisdom and so much richness to you from that, and you are growing through them so profoundly and so beautifully, I'm gonna say. Next, we have a personal issue reaches a resolution with a full moon in Cancer. Exactly. Like, I feel like these cards kind of repeat themselves. There's not much more to add to that. Finally, for advice, I'm going to take one card from the Soul's Journey. I never remember what this deck is called, but every deck that I use are always like in the description box, so you can find those there. Oh, okay, so we have 2, I guess. We have friendship. I understand that a friend is in my life for a reason. This is a very specific message, I feel like, for someone who, this could be perhaps even about this person that was wanting to come through real quick. You won't know if this resonates. Like, even if these people, like, come into your life, like, people that you don't know if you can trust, like, you will know, your higher self knows what the right thing to do is. This reading was not strictly about that person, or those types of people, I don't know. So like, you will know what this is about, and you will know what to do about it. But in any case, this person, these people are into your life for a reason. Okay, so it's not for nothing, and probably it is to show you like that you sometimes people have to come into your life to show you that you deserve better. Honestly. Next we have change. I understand that nothing can grow or evolve without movement. Yes, there's definitely this cardinal energy to you, or to this spread, to this pile. There's this cardinal energy of things are being set in motion, and things are finally sort of like starting to move forward rather than looping, I want to say. Okay, pile 1, thank you so much for watching. I'm going to leave your reading here. This was pretty badass, dope energy. I really hope that you got some insight or value out of it. Definitely do feel free to leave me a comment down below letting me know how this resonated, as it just means the world to me to know how these readings land on the other side. Also, yeah, feel free to leave me a like and subscribe, as that really helps with the algorithm. And thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Bye! Hi pile 2, so if you chose this beautiful little sunstone tumbled crystal right here, this is going to be your reading on whatever it is that the universe wants to praise you for, okay? So we have quite some heavier energies, I want to say, on this channel, so I thought it would be a good idea to keep things a little bit lighter for this pickup pile, and essentially just like have the universe, like, let the universe have a blank slate to come through you with a little pep talk, a little bit of positive affirmations, positive encouragements. And the goal for these readings is, which I kind of managed to with pile 1, but the goal with these readings is to keep them a little shorter and keep them a little bit just very simple and straightforward. Of course, like, I will not omit any details if they have to come through, but this is really meant to allow you to have a little bit of a breather, I want to say. Because I feel like oftentimes when we go into these readings, we are looking so much for what is wrong with us and what we have to change, and just diving deep into all those like shadow aspects of ourselves. But we should also not forget to focus on the light and on the good things, and we should not forget to be nice to ourselves, I want to say. So we're going to look into these oracles that I've shuffled for you. This is nothing too crazy, as you can see. It's less than usual. That's also because I wanted to keep these a little bit on the shorter side, I want to say. Definitely do leave me a comment. Let me know if you prefer shorter or longer readings, because I'm not entirely sure. I love doing long ass readings, but also like I can understand if people just don't want to sit like 1 hour or like 45 minutes on YouTube listening to the same reading. So yeah, definitely let me know that. But yeah, afterwards we're going to look into the tarot, to anything that either is coming towards you that the universe still like wants to go a little bit more in depth about. So without further ado, let's see what we have here for you. We have I am open to love in various forms. Next we have number 28 with cosmic exploration. We have number 2 with the sacral chakra, and the sacral chakra card reads, the frequency of the sacral chakra, the orange flower of life, supports our ability to flow with our desires and stimulates our creative power to manifest success and abundance in our lives. We love to see that. We have next the energy of love. Behold the world through the eyes of love. And next we have drunk with love. Let love lift you to freedom. Okay, so this is a very beautiful energy. I feel like Pile 2, you might have recently, I want to say, like awakened to your otherworldly energies. Like you might have gotten in touch with things like Starseed energy. You might have, I'm getting also like with all this like love and heart energy, getting strong Pleiadian energy. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to resonate with that to resonate with this reading, but this is definitely shedding light on the fact that you are coming so deeply and so strongly into the energy of love and into the energy of your heart chakra. This is, I'm getting two very different things now. Like one thing, not very different thing, it's like very much related, but two separate messages. One thing that these cards are telling you is that you are safe to open up to love. And also I want to say with the sacral chakra, you are safe to open up sexually with other people. This doesn't mean that you should, if you're into things like casual sex, you should definitely explore that. That's up to you to decide. But I feel like if you resonate with the energy of this pile, you will kind of realize the intensity and the importance of sexual energy. And you realize that sexuality is not something that is purely physical. And especially when you engage in that type of environment, in that type of container with someone else, that is not just a physical activity that you're doing. Like you're not, it's not a physical activity like going for a jog together. I mean, if you're very much aware of the energetic impact that, for instance, if you are someone who has a female reproductive system, you are probably very much aware of how receptive your womb and your root chakras are, and how much basically energies of other people can basically literally, like they're literally entering your body in those sacred spaces. So you might definitely have been dealing with some trauma around that, and you might have recently been healing a lot of that, which these cards and like spirit or like the universe wants to commend you for that. Like you have grown so much, and there's so much freaking power to your energy right now, into like your heart energy, but also your sacral chakra energy. And you might also like be coming to terms with how powerful, like especially in terms of manifestation, probably using your sexual energy, how powerful that is. But yes, what I wanted to say is that these cards are definitely on one side telling you like it is safe for you to open up. It is safe for you to go there if your heart and your body sort of like wish to go there. Also, don't be too hard on yourself if for some reason that doesn't manage to happen. I don't know why I feel the need to say this, but it had to come out, so you will know how that resonates. But also this is really telling you like know, like, be able to discern which spaces, and I will say which people are safe to like offer yourself to that level to, and which people and which spaces are safe for you to open yourself up like that. There's definitely this need and this urge for like exploring yourself sexually. Like, you might be someone who is into polyamory and things like that. As we have like, I'm open to love in various forms, and like cosmic exploration and the sacral chakra, and literally just like let love lift you to freedom. There's a lot about this like expansive, freeing energy of love. Like, this might definitely be something that you feel called to right now, and that you want to expand upon and sort of like explore. But also kind of be selective. Like, don't be with this drunken love. That is the second message that was coming through. Don't be stupid. I want to say, like, don't be reckless with yourself and with your own emotional mental health. Don't be reckless at that. Like, take care of yourself. Be strong in your own sacral chakra and your own solar plexus. Like, know your worth and know what you want and know your value, and allow yourself to go for it, what it is that you want. But also don't take things just because you can take them. Like, be like, if something is offered to you, you don't have to go there and take it just because you can. Like, do you even want it? Like, this is the same as saying like, oh, somebody likes you. Okay, that's nice, but do you even like them? You know what I mean? This is definitely also with this I'm open to love in various forms. This might be, you might just have this craving and this urge to connect with people, not necessarily on the binary of like friendship and romance. Like, you might be coming to terms with the fact that sometimes it's really nice to have just like physical intimacy, and with this I don't necessarily even mean sex, but it might just be nice to be physically intimate with people without having much more expectations to that. And sometimes you might even realize, like, sometimes with some people I don't even want to go there and like explore them sexually. You might be really exploring human connections and human relationships through different aspects and different dynamics, I want to say, like through your heart, but also through like higher chakras. Like, you might definitely be wanting connections with whom you can sort of like go to the otherworldly. Like, sometimes maybe you might even be exploring things like astral projection with some people, like telepathy, things like that. There's really this craving and this urge, which, I mean, this has to come out, because yes, it is a very valid thing to desire, and there are people out there, this is a collective energy, so there are people out there who desire the same things. So you owe it to yourself to go out there and get and go for it. And I don't feel like you don't have a very like holding back type of energy. Like, you're pretty much out there type of person. If this is your energy, of course, like, it can vary depending on who's watching this and who's resonating with this, but like, these cards are literally just saying like, go for it. If there was one message that I had to like, in one simple phrase that I had to deliver for you through these cards, is go for it. But also be mindful and take care of yourself, and don't overprotect yourself, but also don't be reckless with your own heart. Does that make sense? Okay, so now for the tarot. Let's see what else. Your higher self, or your spirit guides, or the universe wants to commend you for, or let you know. Okay, so what do we have for pile 2? What does pile 2 need to know at this time? Okay, so we have the sun. Oh my god. Okay. We have the sun. What else does pile 2 need to know at this time? Shine your light. Shine it as bright as you wish to. Like, there's no limit to the brightness in which your light can shine. That's what I'm kind of getting from this card. We have the King of Swords. Yes, boundaries. Speak your truth. Solar plexus and throat chakra energy. Don't be afraid to speak up. You cannot ruin what is meant for you by speaking up. Like, you cannot ruin connections that are genuine by speaking up. This one's wanted to go below the sun, and it is the 10 of Wands in reverse. If people are burdened by the amount of light that you share, and by the positivity that sort of like oozes through you and from you, it's not your responsibility to turn down your light. You should not tone it down to make other people feel comfortable. Like, you might be a sun sign, you might be a Leo. Doesn't have to be, of course, or like have those placements. Did I say you might be a sun sign? I wanted to say you might be a fire sign. Like you might have fire placements, or you might have very strong, prominent fire energy in your chart. Which of course sometimes it can make people uncomfortable. I mean, all elements can make people uncomfortable, but your fieriness can make people feel very uncomfortable sometimes. But that's not, like, you're not intimidating. Other people are intimidated by you, and that's probably because you reflect their own insecurities back at them, I want to say. What else do we have for pile 2? This card wants to come out very timidly, and it is the 8 of Wands. Yes, definitely, you are definitely very much getting in touch with higher realms, and probably like getting in touch with your spirit guides, and things like, you know, otherworldly energies that might be wanting to reach out to you, or that you might be wanting to reach out to. And if you have that desire, it means that it's mutual. Like, it means that it's mutual. It doesn't like come out of nowhere. And you should trust that. When that kind of stuff comes through to you, you should trust that. Don't doubt yourself. Like, be open to receive whatever it is that you need to receive, and it will work out. Like, trust the synchronicities, I want to say, because they're real, okay? They're real. We have the 6 of Wands, exactly. Don't tone down. Don't tone yourself down. No need to, honey. We have the King of Pentacles in reverse. The first thing that comes through you, like, you don't have to keep playing it safe. You don't have to. This is a time for movement. Like, there's this very dynamic energy. It's also like at the time that I'm filming this, we are approaching spring, kind of somewhat. We're at the end of February, so it's still, you know, still a month to go, but we are approaching more cardinal, uplifted type of energies. We're coming out of winter just now, so. Yeah, this is definitely called to put yourself out there. That was similar message to, I'm gonna take the bottom of the top one, I mean. Similar message to the previous pile, although that was a very different energy. We have the moon. Do we have to put it here or here? Okay, I'm just gonna put it here. I love this moon card in this deck. You have Scorpio energy. Also, sometimes people relate this card to Pisces and also Cancer, because of course the Cancer is ruled by the moon. This is telling you, like, you might definitely be looking into things like witchcraft and working with the elements, and perhaps like things like even like shadow work. And this is definitely also called to like keep doing that, because honey, there's so much for you to discover. There's so much for you to do. There's also this call for, like, with this cosmic exploration and the moon, like, there's definitely this call to look into, like, if starseed energy is something that you have been called to, then this is one more call. Like, I don't know who needs to hear this, but your starseed family really is out there kind of wanting to get in touch with you. What about this King of Swords? What about this King of Swords? We have the Knight of Swords. Yeah, something about communication. Like, if you have things to get off your chest, and definitely do that. Do so in a compassionate way, of course, but do so decisively, and be your bold self. Don't tone yourself down. Of course, like, honestly, without compassion is cruelty, so don't sort of like ruthlessly, mindlessly speak things out for the sake of truth. But, you know, balance. We have the 8 of Wands and the 2 of Pentacles. This is calling you to, yes, go into those higher realms, but also don't forget about planet Earth. Don't neglect your body. Like, keep eating healthy. Like, move your body, do breath work, whatever it is. Take care of your body. Don't sort of. It's interesting that I just mentioned balance somewhere, but yes, keep that balance between like higher realms and lower realms, like earthly realms, because that's very much needed. Like, remember, root chakra and crown chakra are very much interconnected, and if one is dysfunctional, the other one is probably also dysfunctional. And if one is balanced, the other one is likely also being, you know, by default being more balanced. We have the 6 of Wands clarified by the 4 of Swords. Yes, also, like, don't forget to take care of yourself. Like, yes, go out and be a badass boss bitch and work your magic, I want to say, but also rest. Like, again, same. Sometimes you need rest. Like, you might be someone who is very enthusiastic and wants to do like a billion things all at once, and all the things, all like, you might be one of those people who's like, I need more hours in a day to do all the things that I want to do. But yes, you can also create more like usable time by actually resting when you need to. Because if you don't sleep properly, then you're gonna, wake up late and wake up cranky and have not much energy and things like that. So don't forget about that. Next, to clarify the King of Pentacles, we have the Knight of Cups. Oh, so cute. What about the Moon? What about the Moon? What about the Moon for pile 2? Oh, did something there flip? There's this card. I'm not going to take it because it doesn't feel relevant, but you have the Seven of Swords. I mean, we'll keep that in mind if it did not feel like, I don't know when it turned around either, so. What about the Moon? Do you have to take this? Yes, we're going to take this. The Tower. We have the Tower, and on the back of the deck, we have the Six of Pentacles with the Five of Pentacles and the Nine of Pentacles. So, I don't feel like you're afraid of Tower moments. I feel like you do trust yourself very much at this point in life. And also, especially if you have, like, if you are in touch with, like, higher energies, like your higher self and your spirit guides and spirit and whatever, you are very much trusting that whatever will fall, and if it has to, like, you have this chill energy about it. So, like, if it has to go, then I guess it will have to go. Like, not that you are not afraid of pain at all, but you're pretty secure. You're pretty secure in yourself, I want to say. There's a lot of yellow, so you might have a very strong, like, also with this sun energy, you might have a very strong solar plexus chakra. And I want to say you know yourself very well. Like, you have done so much work. And that's also why you are, like, you're so secure in your lower chakras that you can sort of, like, effortlessly move into those higher chakras now. And you're not, like, you're very much called and allured, I want to say, to things like the occult and shadow work and everything. Like, your shadow even. Like, you've befriended your mind and your shadow. You're not really afraid of Tower moments because you're very well aware that if the foundation, like, you care about having strong foundations with people, and that's also the kind of thing that you are willing to explore and to create with new connections when they come in. And you're also willing to go slow and to sort of, like, go with a very slow and patient energy towards new connections, because you don't want to rush things. You don't want to rush things and move out of complete and utter, like, passion and whatnot. That's not what you care about. Like, sure, you have, again, this interest in, for instance, exploring people sexually, or, like, exploring your sexuality with people, but you're also not super attached to that, which is a freaking bomb and powerful energy to be in. Like, you're not desperate. That's what I say. And you trust, because you are so in touch with your divine higher self, I want to say. You trust that whatever will have to go will go, and you're almost like, universe, like, it's up to you. Like, if some people need to go, then just, I'll leave it up to you. Like, take care of it, and I will accept whatever is being thrown at me, I want to say. Two of Wands. Yeah, you're pretty, I keep want to say, like, you're pretty secure. You're not scared. Like, you've done so much growth, and you're pretty excited for what is to come. Like, you're pretty excited for the near future. Like, you might have some types of projects, like with that Two of Wands wanted to come through. Two of Wands. You might have some type of project or some type of thing to look forward to, and you're like, I'm going. Like, you might actually, with all this Wand energy, we have, like, 3 Wand cards, but I'm getting a lot of fiery energy anyways. You might have some type of, like, abroad project, like some type of volunteering, or, like, some type of travels coming up for you. There's really this energy of sort of, like, shedding what doesn't, like, you've shed a lot of layers that were not sort of, like, serving you, and we love to see that. But let's take some advice from the Starseed Oracle. Let's see, what do we have for pile 2? What do we have for pile 2? Okay, Oh, this one came out in the first pile as well. Loosen your grip, coping mechanisms, density, addiction, let God in. I feel like you have been sort of like doing that. Like you're not afraid of, okay. I feel like you have loosened your grip. Like whereas pile 1 was a little bit more hesitant to sort of like loosen that grip, you are in this fall basically, and you trust that you will land wherever you need to land, I want to say. Hyareth, however you pronounce that, longing for home, homesick for the stars. This is definitely a lot about wanting to get in touch with your starseed origins. Like it has been calling you. It's not for nothing. Okay, this type of energy, like you wouldn't be hearing so much about it if it wasn't meant for you, or it wouldn't resonate so deeply with you if it wasn't meant for you. Cracked open, rock bottom, surrender to the alchemy of life. Like you're not scared. Like of course it's not that you're like, yay, I can't wait to suffer, but you're aware. Like you don't have problems like allowing yourself to feel your feelings, and you know that they will pass. Like happiness will pass, pain will pass, and then it will all come back again. Like it's all a cycle, but it's not like a vicious cycle. Like it's just you're aware of like the feminine cyclistic circular energy of circular quality of life, I want to say. And it doesn't scare you. Like you're ready for it. I'm getting this feeling of like, bring it on. Like I can take it, which is a freaking bomb. What do we have for pile 2? What advice do we have for pile 2? Pile 2. What advice? What is coming? A new romantic cycle begins with New Moon in Libra. Well, that is interesting. We have the full moon in Leo with don't let pride get in your way. There's a lot of Leo energy, definitely. And we have the new moon in Leo with confidence is your key to success. I want to take one more. Yeah, confidence is your key to success. Of course, like confidence. What is confidence? Being proud and standing strong in who you are. But of course, first, before you can even be confident, you have to know who you are, and you have been doing that work. Like you're pretty strong in who you are, I want to say. Work through your fears. New moon in Scorpio, and I feel like this excitement of discovering more parts of yourself. I want to say, like you're excited to see all the things that you don't know, that you don't see yet about yourself. What do we have for pile 2? More advice for pile 2. Okay, so we have loneliness. I know that I'm never alone. Yeah, definitely. Your higher, your spirit guides, your higher self, your I want to say like your star family. They're definitely around you, supportive of you. And if you have been having signs from them in your day-to-day life, like in your dreams even, again, take that because it's true. It's not for nothing. It's just not. It's not there for nothing. It's not coming. It's not happening so often, so synchronistically for nothing. Excusez-moi. Then we have a blame. I accept responsibility for my well-being. Yeah, there's definitely the need to not forget about your human body and take care of that. that's definitely coming through very strongly for you. My throat is so dry. I need to drink some water. Anyways, pile 2, thank you so much for watching. Definitely do feel free to leave me a comment down below letting me know how this resonated. I would love to hear how this lands on the other side of the screen. Also, feel free to leave a like and subscribe, as that really helps me with the algorithm. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope this brought you some type of insight or value. And yeah, thank you, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Hi, pile 3. So if you chose this beautiful, vibrant Amazonite crystal right here, this is going to be a reading on essentially whatever it is that the universe wants to praise you for. Okay, so we're going to have a little pep talk from the universe. This is a little bit of a different reading. We're going to keep it short and sweet, or at least that's the cat hair. That's the plan. I've managed to keep them a little shorter than my usual readings in the previous pile, so proud of myself. We are going to look basically into whatever positive message, or like message of encouragement, or any whatever it is that the universe is proud of you for, okay? So this might be from the universe, from spirit guides, from your higher self, whatever it is that you feel connected to. We're going to look first into these pre-shuffled oracles that I have here for you. Nothing too crazy, just a couple to basically look into your energy right now and your plus points in life, I want to say. And then afterwards, we're going to look into the tarot about either something that is coming towards you, something that you need to know, or just basically looking a little bit more in depth about whatever is coming out here. So we're leaving a blank slate to the cards completely to come through to you with whatever it is that you need to hear at this time. Okay, so without further ado, we have the card I Am Forgiving. Then we have number 60 with a Noble for you. We have number 4 with the Heart Chakra. And this card reads, the frequency of the heart chakra, the green flower of life, supports our capacity to love deeply and unconditionally. Its healing properties harmonize the mind and the body. And then last but not least, we have a Return to Joy with we are here to experience joy. So pile 3, I love to see this. So this is badass bomb energy. So this energy, first of all, you might have Taurus placements. Doesn't have to be, but these two cards are very much, they very much remind me of Taurus. This one, of course, because of obvious reasons. And this also, they look more like fox ears or cat ears, but it also kind of looks like horns. Anyways, the energy here is pretty much the energy of do no harm, take no shit. Was it like that? Do no harm, take no shit? Something like that. But you're basically like with this juxtaposition between I'm forgiving and no bull, you have basically come, like, the universe wants, weird things on my cards. The universe wants to commend you for basically having grown so much and so beautifully. I almost want to say like bloomed like a lotus. Like, this flower does not look exactly like a lotus, but that's what it reminded me of. Like, the energy of this whole spread reminds me of a lotus flower. If you're not familiar with lotus flowers, they are basically the embodiment or like a symbol for rebirth and for spiritual awakening, because they basically set their roots deep in mud. They grow in water in like ponds. They set their roots deep within the mud. Every night they sort of like close up and retreat, and every morning they sort of like bloom out again, and they're completely immaculate, completely clean, without any residuals of mud or anything like that. They just like perfectly bloom every single morning, again and again and again, after having sort of like retreated within deep mud. And this is the energy that you're in. You're basically very much strongly getting in touch with your heart chakra, with the power of your heart, with your emotions. You're learning how to nourish yourself and how to nurture yourself and how to take care of your body, I want to say also. And I feel like you have gone through quite some hardships with people, with like connections. This could be definitely in a romantic sense, but it doesn't have to be. And with this Return to Joy card, it feels like you have been, perhaps like within, like you might have just come out of a dark night of the soul, or you might have just gone through like a very hard breakup, like some type of period of your life that was not exactly super happy or super easy. And you might have let things slide, like also in terms of boundaries with people, like you might have let things slide that were absolutely not okay, and you might have just had to learn the hard way how to take care of yourself. Like, you might have had to learn how to value yourself and how to nourish and nurture yourself through having experienced what it is like to sort of like, I want to say almost like hate yourself. And you really have come to terms with the fact that like, okay, I cannot keep going in life like I have been going, because I'm really sort of like withering away, and I'm diminishing my own worth and my own value and my own energy. And I really deserve more. I deserve better. And you really are sort of like steering your ship of life back to joy and back to whatever it is that fulfills you. Like, I can see you sort of picking up things that you had lost, things like making art, things like writing poetry, making music, sort of like going back into nature again, connecting with animals perhaps. You have gone through this beautiful healing journey that has led you so far, and that is still bringing you into, like, you're not done yet, okay? So much more great things are in store for you. And with this I'm forgiving card, together with this noble, I love that they're both present, and like I love this so much. You are learning how to not hold grudges for people anymore. Like even the people that have hurt you, you have learned to have compassion for them as well. But you're also extending that compassion to yourself. Like you are forgiving people, but you're also not taking any crap from people anymore. Like you're just at a stage where you're like, yeah, listen, I'm not interested in this petty bullshit. I'm not interested in funny business. I just want real connections. I just want the straightforward communication. I just want clarity. I want trust. I want honesty. I want authenticity, and I will not take anything else than that. You're not even. I want to say I'm not fucking with it. Like you're not even involving yourself with energies that don't serve you, that don't serve your highest good. Like whenever you see some petty energy or something, you're just like, you don't have the energy to go into it, and you're not even drained by those things anymore. You're just like, yeah, I'm sorry, but that's not what I'm interested in right now, and you sort of like move on with your day. And that's freaking bomb powerful energy. So I feel like with these cards, what the universe is really commending you for doing is essentially not letting harsh people, or like the harshness of the world, making you harsh. You are choosing like to stand in your power. This is very strong. Like you're not letting people walk over you anymore, I want to say. But you're also not doing that in a hard way. Like you're not being hard with others. Like you're choosing forgiveness, and forgiveness is not something that you choose. It's something that you naturally have to shift into. Like it's a very, you cannot say like, oh, I'm going to forgive you. Like it's not something you can decide to do, but you have come to the point where you have been able to forgive people because you can see so clearly and so deeply through them, through the fact that hurt people. Like you can have compassion for the hurt that people have had in their lives, but you're also not justifying what they did to you, like how they're treating you, because you're aware that they are very much responsible for how they treat other people. Like they're very much responsible for what they do with their hurt and with their trauma. Like you can understand where they're coming from, but at the same time you're like, yes, listen, I understand where you're coming from and I understand your pain, but this is not a justification for how you're acting or not acting. I can understand completely that your trauma is making you think and believe and act in certain ways, but this doesn't mean that it's okay how you have been addressing me, or how you have been treating me, or how you've been not treating me. And you're learning to stand up for yourself, like being compassionate for others, but also not sort of like not enable people in their wounded and wounding behaviors. And that's such a powerful energy. I feel like your heart chakra and your solar plexus chakras are just like beaming. It's like that is a freaking amazing energy to be in and to be around. So let's see what else the universe or your guides might want to let you know about. If something is coming towards you, something that you need to keep in mind, whatever it is that you need to hear at this time. Okay, so what does pile... Oh, I'm holding the deck upside down. What does pile 3... I wasn't ready to take cards yet. I didn't even... Yeah, this is not... Okay, you know what? We're gonna shuffle once again, because... Because yes. Okay, twice again. Okay, good enough. We're not gonna take that. Okay, so... Okay, one more shuffle, because I feel a little unsettled by this weird shuffling experience that just went on. Okay, so what does pile 3 need to hear at this time? What is pile... There was a turn card, which we're not going to take. What does pile 3 need to know at this time? What does pile 3... I guess we are going to take this. The Lovers, Gemini energy. Yeah, you might be connected strongly to the energy of Archangel Raphael, since we do have the heart chakra and the Lovers card. What about... Oh, we have these 2 cards that wanted to come out, I guess, like this. Oh, we have the Star, yes, bitch, and we have the Fool. Okay, so 3 majors so far. Very vibrant energy, oh my god. Yeah, it's like you have not a care in the world. Like, you don't have time for petty shit. Like, you're just going after your dreams, and you're just doing your thing, and you're just enjoying yourself, just indulging in self-care and taking care of yourself. Um, with not a care in the world. Like, you know that you're supported, and you're not afraid of the future. Like, you might be someone who has been dealing a lot with anxiety in the past, but you're currently not in that state anymore. Like, I'm not saying that you never have any anxious thoughts or any fears or anything like that anymore, but it's definitely not affecting you in the way that it used to. Like, you definitely have moved on from a lot of like old patterns and old like vicious cycles and states that you have been living in, I'm gonna say, your entire life. We have the Page of Pentacles, and now you're focusing, oh my god, you might actually have been starting like, or being focusing on some type of new project, some type of new like, I don't know, some type of business endeavor, some type of, I'm seeing you like launching like a clothing line, or like launching a YouTube channel, or like launching a new social media platform, like making an app or something like that. You're focusing on yourself. And this does not mean that you're literally sort of like not even interested in like romance, or that you're not spending time with your friends, but you are making yourself your priority, and you're still very much open to perhaps like new romance, or making things work if you already have like a partnership like of that sort. But you are making yourself a priority, and not in a selfish way, not being like, oh, I'm going to neglect everyone else around me, but you are definitely pouring from your filled cup. Like, you're taking care of your own cup first, so that you can also pour onto others, I want to say. We have the World going below the Lovers, and we have the Three of Pentacles going below the Star. Yeah, you might be just chasing your own dreams. You might be auditioning for things. I'm seeing you, some of you, like auditioning for, I don't know, theater stuff, or like cinema things. I'm not in that world. I don't know anything about that, but that's something that came up. You might be working on, like, you might be really craving to expand your horizons in terms of your work and your project. So you might be looking into working with people, and working with people who are basically on your same wavelength, but that have very different perspectives and different styles perhaps than you. Like, you might be making very bold choices in your work, or be wanting to make a little bit more like things that are more original, things that are more out of the box, I want to say. Like, you want to create something new, essentially. What about this Fool card? What about this Fool card? And with the World card coming on top of the Lovers, are we gonna take... Okay, I guess we're gonna take the top card, which was the Empress. The rest is going back into the deck. With this World coming out on under the Lovers, I feel like you are, again, there's this whole vibe of like, I'm not interested in petty shit. I'm just... And this is not necessarily to say like, oh, I'm only going to settle down with someone if I know that I'm going to marry them or something. Like, this doesn't have to be like that at all, but you will not sort of, you're not interested in futile, fleeting, I want to keep saying like petty shit. Like, you have no time for that. You only want things that are real. You want people who know what they want, and you want people who are dedicated to you. And again, this doesn't have to mean like, I'm only going to be engaged with people, or like, not necessarily engaged. I mean, some of you, yes, might, but definitely. I'm only going to be involved with people who are as grounded as I am, I want to say. Like, I don't have the energy and space for anything that is not like super real and super grounded. You definitely feel very grounded. You're very, very focused and present with yourself, and you're trying to do that with other people as well, and you really crave people to be able to do that in the same way with you. Like, you're also not scared of opening up to others, and of being yourself in that sense, and of being vulnerable, and you really want authentic connections basically on that level, just very authentic and vulnerable. And honestly, this is telling you like it's coming, because this is, I feel like these are your dreams and plans and your cravings and your urges, I want to say, for the world, that are actually being manifested. This is because there is definitely a very grounded energy to all of this. So it's not like impossible. It's not out of reach. You are manifesting all of this and all your desires. Like, it is literally coming to you. You're this empress, and she knows, like, regardless of your gender, she knows what she wants, she knows what she deserves, and things are coming to her, and she's just chilling there. She knows that she doesn't have to move her finger, but of course, like, that's also, take that with a grain of salt, not literally, because of course you have to put in work and do things to make your dreams happen, but also at the same time, energetically, you will attract opportunities and the right people to work with and to be in connection with. We have, below the Six of Swords, we have the Seven of Wands. You're ready to fight, bitches. That's for damn sure. You're ready to fight, bitches. If they cross you, like, first of all, I don't feel like people will actually F with you, because they like, this energy is very much palpable. Like, it's noticeable that you are in this energy, so people won't even have the, I want to say, the courage or the nerve to come close to you if they have ill intentions. Not necessarily even if they have ill intentions, but just like, if they, I don't know, if they have like wishy-washy type of energy, they sort of like will be repelled by you're like a bullcrap repelling, like one of those like spray bug repelling sprays. It's like you're that, but for bullcrap and for people who are petty and just not on top of their game, I want to say. Below the Page of Pentacles, we have Justice. You reap what you sow. Exactly. This is literally what I've been saying. Eight of Pentacles. There you go. Again, you're just working on your shiz. And below that, we have the Seven of Cups. Yeah, you might still be trying to ideate. You might still trying to be figuring out. You might have like a lot of plans and passions and things that you wish to bring into reality. Because this definitely is some like very fresh beginning of a project type of energy. And like, you might not have the specific tools or specific places, I want to say, the specific resources, the specific plans and specific people to work with, but definitely like keep going for that, because this is definitely happening for you. Whatever this is, whatever project this is, whatever manifestation you want to bring into the world, this could even literally just be like a beautiful relationship that is dynamic and mutual and just what it, like everything that you wished for, essentially. That this could be anything. This doesn't have to be a work related project or anything like that, but this definitely could be for a lot of you. This is to say, this is happening. Keep your energy high as it is right now. Keep taking care of yourself. Like, you're reaping what you sow. If you put in the work, there's no way that it will not come back at you. Okay, there's no way that it will not turn back around at you, and that it will not manifest, because you are manifesting it. You're pro manifest. Like, the energy is there, the work is there, the clarity of what you want it to feel like is there, the growth that you have done is already there. And in order to sort of like get rid of all the barriers that you have been putting in front of yourself, also in terms of like societal conditioning and perhaps limiting beliefs that you have learned growing up, people that have been in your way, actually, like you're doing all of the things, honey. You're doing freaking amazing, and it's all coming to you. Okay, return to joy. We're here to experience joy. You're creating your own joy at this time, and the universe has your back. And this is, I love to see this. This is amazing. Also, don't forget to chill sometimes, but I mean, I feel like you're doing that already. You're doing that. I see you doing a lot of like skincare and trying out, like, perhaps even making your own skincare, like making sugar scrubs and things like that, and making your own face masks and hair masks, and walking in nature, spending time with the people that you actually vibe well with, discussing ideas and just very refreshing. This is refreshing energy. Oh my god, it's so beautiful. It's like water, like a spring well, or what is it called? And I can also see. Wait, what was that? I had one more thing, and it's now slipping off of my head. Oh, you could definitely be at a point in life where new ideas are sort of like flowing in. I have a very dry throat. I'm so sorry. You might be at a point where new things and new ideas and new concepts are sort of like effortlessly making their way into your life, because you have cleared so much space inside of you. And that's freaking bomb. It's sort of like all leading you to where you're supposed to be going at the end. What type of advice or what messages do we have for pile 3? This is from the Starseed Oracle. Okay, we're just going to take the top one. A new earth, it's happening. Keep holding the vision. Exactly. This is about your project or your manifestation or your dream, whatever it is that you had your. I'm hearing. I get the eye of the prize. Like whatever prize you got on your mind, it's coming for you. Just keep that vision, and it will come to you effortlessly. It is already coming to you effortlessly. It's on the way. What else do we have for pile 3? What else do we have for pile 3? If anything else from this deck, I'm going to put those back because those were way too many. And one fell. Should I take the one that fell? I'm just going to put it all back. Because I wasn't sure, it didn't feel relevant. Okay, so what message, what advice or messages do we have for pile 3? Ah, look, we have 2. Earthed, learning how to be human in the world but not of it. Exactly, you're like, especially with this Page of Pentacles energy as well, like you're really exploring these concepts, like perhaps like you might be into philosophy, getting into new schools of thought, things like that. You're really learning. You're expanding your horizons, I want to say. You're really reaching out for these new ideas, and you have this bright, beautiful light inside of you that is really craving to go out in the world and reach people, I want to say. Then we have the courageous peony? How do you say that? I don't know. Multifaceted, unique nature, let yourself be seen. Yes. This is also, I feel like, about whatever work. I feel like you do have some type of, like for some of you this will be about a romantic relationship. I mean, the Lovers card is not necessarily about actual lovers, of course, like it's an archetype. The Lovers is also about like finding the balance within yourself between masculine and feminine. It's about finding this harmony within yourself and emotional fulfillment, and then equal give and take. So this definitely could apply for some of you for like an actual like romantic situation, but for most of you, I feel like this is about either some type of project or dream that you're going after, or something that you're meaning to manifest, some type of work that you mean to manifest and bring into the world. Now let's see some more advice for you, some final notes, things to keep in mind. What do we have for pile 3? What do we have for pile 3? Yeah, for beautiful pile 3, we have change, and this was also in one of the previous piles. I understand that nothing can grow or evolve without movement, and yes, you are already in that place. Like you are already. I feel like these piles have almost been like a crescendo of energy. Like this is really cool. You are already in motion. Like you have this craving for motion, and you are seeking how to make everything work around you, essentially. And I mean, I want to say keep seeking, because you will, like the answers will come to you. You're calling all of those things in. Your energy is really literally so like calling all of these things in. Imagination, I embrace and nourish the creative aspects of my mind. Exactly, this is really calling you to, it's not even advice, because I feel like you're already doing that, but don't be stuck in your mind, and allow that feminine, that Empress energy to flow. Like attract whatever it is that you want from your feminine energy. And like even if you want inspiration and insights, don't try and rationalize things. Just allow, like open your mind and be a blank slate for spirit to come through, I want to say, and for the universe to come through, and for the human consciousness, like human conscious, the collective unconscious to come through to you, because you definitely have that type of energy that makes that possible. Don't let pride get in your way. Full moon in Leo. This also was present in one of the previous piles. We have, it's time to take action with new moon in Aries. Exactly. This is more confirmation. Like go for it, because there's so many great things that you can do and that you want to do, and that are literally waiting for you to put them in action, I want to say. What else do we have for pile? Oh, that is many cards, and we are gonna take this one that fell on the table. Okay. What else do we have? Well, we're gonna look into this one first. A fiery climax approaches, full moon in Aries. Okay, lots of fire energy. Okay, and then communication is key, new moon in Gemini. I feel like this is a lot about putting your ideas out there and talking to people about your ideas and just expressing your wishes and desires in whichever context that might be. That might be in the context of actual friendships and romance and just like connection for the sake of connection, but also when you encounter cool people, like cool artsy people that you really would love to work with and create things with, like just tell them, literally just go up to them and be like, yo, you're fucking awesome. Do you want to create something together? Like, how do you think about this and this and that? And like, do you want to brainstorm some stuff? Like networking. Network is definitely something that you might want to look into or do. A time for healing, balsamic moon. This will, I feel like you have done a lot of healing, and this should not even be your focus right now. It should rather be like your 3D earth, what you do with your body, with your outside world. This is your focus right now, because you're meant to be creating things right now and move from that healed space. But perhaps this is calling you to extend that grace and healing and beauty outside to yourself, which I mean, you have kind of been doing that already as well with that, give love and take no shit, or whatever that was at the beginning of this reading. But there's definitely a lot that people can learn from you, and that they sort of like are eager to learn from you. I'm getting queer vibes very much, by the way, like especially like gender fluid or like androgynous type of things like that. Doesn't have to be. You can still resonate with everything that I said without being that. But yeah, I think this is all that we have for you today, Pile 3. Thank you so much for letting me read your cards. This was bomb energy, and I really hope that you can feel. I really hope that I conveyed it well, because this is absolutely amazing. Yeah, definitely do feel free to leave me a comment down below, letting me know how this resonated, as I would love to hear how this lands on the other side of the screen. And also feel free to leave a like and subscribe, as that really helps me with the algorithm. And I hope that this gave you some type of insight, some type of encouragement to keep going, because you're doing absolutely freaking amazing. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Hi, Pile 4. So if you chose this gorgeous little tiger eye crystal right here, this is going to be a reading, and I am so excited. The previous piles have been absolutely freaking bomb, so I'm really excited to get into yours. These are basically going to be messages from the universe, or your spirit guides, or your angels, whatever it is that you feel connected to. And it's basically like a blank slate. We're not going to ask any specific question. This is just a blank slate for the universe and the cards to come through to you with whatever it is that you need to hear right now. And with a specific focus on whatever it is that you're succeeding at, whatever it is that you're doing freaking amazing at. This is basically, take this as a little pep talk from the universe. The goal is to keep these readings like short and sweet, as it sort of like go straight to the point, and to provide you, or like what's the word, deliver messages that are empowering and uplifting, and a little bit on the lighter side, since we do on this channel especially go a lot into like shadow aspects and what needs healing, because that's just very much up my lane, and I love doing that type of work. But of course sometimes it can get a little heavy, and it's of course never to bash you, but you should also, I'm a very firm believer of the fact that you should not also always be looking for what is wrong with you and what you should be fixing within yourself, okay? Because that's just one side of the story. So that's why I wanted to do a little bit of a light reading, and actually focus on how amazing you're doing, okay? Because especially if you are looking into tarot readings and into readings about, like, working yourself, things like that, you probably have come already so far. And I have not said this in previous piles, so I'm really curious to see what is going to come out here as well in the tarot afterwards, because first we're going to look into these, to look a little bit into your energy right now. And with the tarot, we're going to look into essentially anything that needs to come through. Again, basically just a blank slate. We can look into anything that comes up in terms of like a question, if that happens during the first part of the reading, or we can just look a little bit more in depth about whatever has come through here. Okay, so without further ado, enough babbling from me, let's see what we have here for you. We have I Am Peaceful. Next we have number 30 with Smother. Then we have two of these cards, and we have the first one is root chakra with the number 1, and it reads, the frequency of the root chakra, the red flower of life, stimulates passion and supports our sense of security in this physical plane, both in our bodies as well in the physical world. And then we have the number 8 with alchemy. The frequency of alchemy activates our magical ability and remembrance of the magic that we all hold inside. Each one of us has the potential to access their ancient knowledge that allowed the true alchemist to perform the miracles of transmutation. Bomb. Next we have make a change. Welcome change into your life. I love like the color schemes, because like the pink here and the little purples and the blues and the greens. Anyways, pile 4. This definitely, the piles have been basically like a freaking crescendo almost. They're not strictly tied, but I mean not necessarily, but these could definitely all apply to one person. Of course, like as I always say, every reading only sheds light on one aspect of the collective energetic things that we're going through. But basically, the first thing that I really want to say is you have been breaking generational curses. You really have been doing that work. Like, that level of intense and important work is just absolutely... Why is there something here? Huh? I cannot see it here, but I can see it here. Interesting. That's a 4 for life. You have been going through it in your past. Like, you might have been someone who has not had a very, I want to say, peaceful childhood. You might actually have had quite some intense traumas, not necessarily like actual instances, like specific instances that you can like go back to as like one specific memory that have like traumatized you, but you definitely have not had a easy childhood, especially from, I want to say, from a mother figure. Like, you might have had a quite fiery mother, I want to say. Perhaps there was like, not, this doesn't even have to be from your mother specifically. This could definitely be like any type of caretaker or caregiver, or like a parent, whatever it is. But you definitely might have struggled a lot with lack of sense of security and stability and safety in your childhood, and this could manifest physically in any type of way. Okay, so it doesn't have to necessarily be physical abuse or emotional abuse, mental abuse. It definitely could be, but this could also apply to people who are only, or like who are only, who have only experienced things like emotional neglect, and I mean that's why I'm saying like only with brackets, because you know that's not nothing, but you have been pulling yourself out of a dark pit, essentially. I don't know how old you are, of course this is going to differ for everyone, but I definitely feel like you are quite young. You might have just recently have this sort of like rebirth sensation, sort of like having recently come out of your shell. But you have been doing the work. You have been digging deep. You have really gone to the root of your own trauma responsive, your own, I want to say, like unhealthy, toxic traits. Like you're not afraid of facing your own shadow. You're not afraid of going in there, and you have done so. Like, you have seen, I want to say you have seen a lot of things that most people have not seen about yourself, and you have gone the depth within yourself to the extent that most people around you have not gone to. And that is absolutely, like, the universe is chapeauing you at that for that. I want to say you have been able to detach yourself from your trauma and your childhood conditioning. You have really looked at your own pain and your own trauma. You've sort of like taken it outside of you and looked at it as if it was something else. Of course, like, still part of you, but it's like you've made space to hold your pain and hold your traumas and be like, I see you and I'm sorry, you're so freaking hurt. But you don't have to hurt. Like, you don't have to hurt. Like, this is the typical energy of realizing that you don't have to, like, wait, how was it? Like, you suffer until you realize that you don't have to. You really detached your identity. Like, you're not strictly identified with your pain and your trauma anymore. I'm not saying that you don't have any pain or trauma, like, traces left in you, but you can recognize them for what they are. Like, you are very aware of, I want to say, a lot of, like, limiting beliefs and thought patterns and just patterns and behavioral patterns that exist within you, you're able to recognize them for what they are. So you're not identified with them. Like might have done a lot of like ego death work, I want to say. And that is absolutely freaking beautiful. Like you literally have, perhaps people have told you like, oh my god, you've changed so much, or you might have overcome a lot of like triggers, like things that used to trigger you. Right now you can just see them for what they are, and it doesn't really touch you anymore, or at least you're doing your best to do that, and you recognize your triggers for what they are, and you really have been taking responsibility. Like you also can sort of like detach or like distinguish and discern what is my responsibility and what is yours. Like even especially when it comes to like family bonds, like with a parent or a caregiver, or like siblings, whatever it is, like just like anything like that, or like perhaps even just like people from your past that are still currently in your life. Doesn't have to be like literal family. But you can discern like, okay, so I don't have to, like you have very strong boundaries, I want to say. Like you're really working on your boundaries, and you really have this strong sense of what can I take at what am I like, what is it that I can take today, and what is it that I don't want to take today. Like when is it time to rest, when is it time to actually like lend a hand to someone, when can I actually be there for you, and when can I actually not be there for you, because I currently like, you want to be there for people, but sometimes you might just not have the energy for it, and you're aware that you don't have to be there for people all of the freaking time. That it's okay to take a step back and be like, listen, I don't have the energy for this today, and you don't have to take it personally, but it's just me, I don't have the energy today for this. And that's just the best case scenario, honestly, because if you try to like be there for people when you're not in the right energy for it, first of all, you can't really be there for them fully, and second of all, you're just depleting yourself. So even you're doing a disservice to both them and you. And you don't want to do that anymore. This is powerful energy. Like you might be confronted by people, like that's what I wanted to say, like with people from your past or your family actually. And they might want to confront you with things, like maybe like pick a fight with you, and you're just like, listen, I'm not doing this. Sorry, but you're gonna have to fight with yourself because I'm not taking this. And that is freaking powerful. It's also interesting that we have this tiger eye right here, because this is like a very strong solar plexus protecting stone, which I feel like is very reflective of your energy. You definitely have a very fierce but gentle, like very fierce but gentle moves, like, yeah. And with this root chakra, I also want to say, like, you really are coming back to yourself. Like you're really taking back your energy, and sort of like the loose ends of your energy that you might have overly extended to the outside world and other people, and you're taking those back, and you're really sort of like keeping your energy concentrated where it needs to be, I want to say. Okay, let's see what are the messages that need to come through to you at this time. Okay, so we have justice. We have justice with Libra energy. Next, this one needs to come out. We have the 10 of Pentacles. We love to see that. Okay, what else? What else does pile 4 need to know at this time? What is it that pile 4 needs to hear? What does pile 4 need to hear today? We have the Empress. Yes, 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 yes. This is definitely very similar energy to the previous pile, but you know, it doesn't have to. If you felt called to it, you can go have a look. It's always very much more than normal to feel called to more than one pile. So, do we have to take all of these? I'm going to take this one, the top one, which is the 6 of Pentacles in reverse. And I guess we're going to take these both. We have the 4 of Cups and the Fool. I'm going to put this right here. I ain't no fool, I'm hearing in my head. Oh, I love this card. This is my favorite 4 of Cups card. Like, her sweater says, like, over it. Okay, so that I wasn't ready to take more cards. I'm going to shuffle one more time. And then we're going to take clarifiers. Yeah, I want to say this is very similar energy to the previous pile. We also had the Justice card, the Empress, and, come on, and the Fool in the previous pile. What about this Justice card? What about Justice? What about Justice? We have the Eight of Swords. You're not afraid to speak up. Like, if you see that something is not okay, if something does something either to you or even to other people that is not okay, you're going to say something about it. You're not going to, like, whereas in the past you would let yourself be tied down by anxieties and by things like, oh my god, like, I don't want to stir the pot, and I don't want to, you know, I want to keep things, like, I am peaceful, like, I want to keep things at peace. Like, you have a very different conception of what peace is to you at this time than what it used to be. Like, it was a very, you're coming from, like, you wanted the same things, like, back then as you want now, which is peace. But you're going about it in a very different way. Like, you're willing to fight for your peace, I want to say. You're willing to stand up for yourself for your peace, whereas in the past you might have been someone who didn't even want to stir the pot, because and that was your way of keeping the peace, I want to say. To clarify the Ten of Pentacles, we have the the Tower. In order to achieve that Ten of Pentacles, that abundance and that sort of like that security within yourself, you have had to let go of things. And you don't resent anyone. You don't have much space for like negative energies or negativity, not even within yourself, for other people. Like, you have processed a lot of grief and pain and a lot of your losses, I want to say. And you're now at a point where you can really see why those things had to go. And you're really freaking grateful for those things. Like, you're aware of the intensity of not the intensity, the cruciality, is that a word? The cruciality of how crucial it was for certain people and things to go, so that you could make space for, like, essentially who you are right now. And you can see the bigger picture. Like, you can really see the bigger picture of why everything had to go exactly as it had to go. Because it had pushed you and sort of like catapulted you into the place that you are now, and you would have never reached the point that you are at right now if those things had sort of like stayed in your life, and they would have kept you stagnant and kept you down, like an anchor, I want to say. And not a safety anchor, but more like an anchor that doesn't allow you to like sail off and go into your own journey. Like, you were really tied to, I guess, outdated belief systems and generational trauma bonds, I want to say. To clarify the Empress, we have the Seven of Pentacles. To clarify the Six of Pentacles. What about the Six of Pentacles in reverse? What about the Six of Pentacles in reverse? Why is the Six of Pentacles in reverse? You're not overextending yourself anymore to people who don't deserve it. Yeah, exactly. The Eight of Cups. Like, you're really able to discern right now what is worth your energy and time and what isn't. And also in terms of people, like, should you might have been a people pleaser in the past, and now you're like, listen, I don't have time I literally don't have the energy to overextend myself to people who don't deserve it, I want to say. And it's not that people are unworthy, but it's just sometimes people aren't compatible. Sometimes people are just not able to see you for who you are, and you can be there for them how much you want, but you cannot change them or make them see your worth, no matter how much you try. And you have given up on that quest. Like, you're like, okay, so your cups are very nice, but I'm just going elsewhere because I'm not feeling at home here. You really are starting to look into, does this place, do these people actually serve my higher good? Do they want my higher good, or have they served their purpose in my life, and is it time to move on? Like, you're peacefully moving on. It's not that you're like leaving things behind and abandoning everyone and everything. You're just like, listen, this is not working for me anymore, so that's it. I'm off to my own journey now. And you're really calling in all these new, beautiful, fresh energies. We have, under the Fool, we have the Wheel of Fortune and the Five of Pentacles. So we have fixed energies. We have, okay, so the Empress, we have Venus energy, so Libra and Taurus. We have Libra again with the Justice card. We have Wheel of Fortune with Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus, and what was it, Leo? Yeah, Leo. I never remember what the Tower was. Is that Scorpio energy? I believe so. What about this Four of Cups? For keeps? For Kupas. Oh. We have the Sun in reverse. That is interesting. Oh, look at what we have here on the bottom of the deck. We have Strength. What else do we have? We have Knights of Swords and the Lovers, Gemini. Okay, so we have Leo energy twice with the Sun and Strength. You are observing, I want to say. You're observing, whereas in the past you would perhaps sort of like intervene in things, or let's sort of try to go and fix things. You're really observing how others go on about things. Like, you don't necessarily feel the need to micromanage everything. You don't feel responsible for everyone's shit anymore. And you really let things go as like you let things pass if they pass. Like, you're really in this energy of like, I'm just gonna sit here, I'm just gonna be me, I'm just gonna vibe along with myself, and whatever is meant for me will come to me. Whatever is meant to go will go. And whatever, like, as soon as I see something that is off, I will decide, do I want to do something about this, yes or no? If it's yes, I'm going to do everything that I can, and I'm going to pour all of my energy into it. But if something is just not sitting right, I'm just like, you know what? It's all good. See you later. See you never. Doesn't matter. Go. Bye. I'm just chilling here in my own energy, in my own vibes. I want to pull a clarifier for this Four of Cups and the Sun in reverse, because I'm not entirely sure what they are doing here. What about this Four of Cups and the Sun in reverse? Tell me more about this Four of Cups and the Sun in reverse. What about this Four of Cups and the Sun in reverse? Tell me more about this Four of Cups with the Sun in reverse. What is this about? Okay, we got two cards. So the bottom of the deck right now is the Ace of Wands. And we have, the Devil in reverse and the Four of Swords in reverse. Did I literally mention like being chained down like an anchor? Yeah, that's the vibes that I was getting. The Devil in reverse, and you're reversing that in the sense that you're not being tied down to those things anymore. And with this Four of Cups, with like the get over it card, like I get it now. This Sun in reverse, like sometimes you might have in the past accepted things that would come at you because you were moving more from a space of lack. So like anytime that something or someone would come to you, you'd be like, oh yes, I'm gonna take this because otherwise I'm going to be left with nothing, essentially. But right now, if something doesn't convince you 100%, if something is not a freak yes, you're not gonna take it, because you are aware of the fact that if something is not 100% a yes, it's most likely going to bring you down and to dim your light. Like, if something is not 100% yes, it means that there's something, even if it's the tiniest little detail about that thing on that person, that is not entirely aligned with where you're at and with where you want to go. So you're likely not going to say yes to that thing because you don't want to settle down. You don't want to settle for less than you deserve and less that you want. And this Four of Swords in reverse, like, you might have lost sleep in the past over these things that were sort of like burning you and holding you back. You might have done a lot of work about that. Like, you might sometimes even have, I want to say, what's the word? Jesus, temptations or like intrusive thoughts coming at you, but you're aware of what they are. You're like, listen, I recognize you. You're an old friend. Hello, darkness, my old friend. But I don't want to talk to you again. Essentially that. This is amazing. Like you're really protecting your energy, and you're really not overly protecting your energy, but you're really mindful of your own energy and of who you surround yourself with, and of the energies that come in and then that you're allowed to go through you, and of the energies that you put outside in the world. This is really powerful energy, and I love to see that. Now I want to take some final words with the device for you, pile 4. Let's see what else the universe or the spirit guides, your higher self want to let you know. What do you have for pile 4? Advice or encouraging messages for pile 4 at this time? What messages do we have for pile 4? What messages do we have for pile 4? Oh. We have fall into my arms, surrender, holding the opposites, extremes of life. This is a call to trust and surrender. I mean, I feel like you have been doing that already. I feel like this is just the universe saying kudos to you for doing that. And if you have been unsure about whether you have been doing well or not, this is the universe telling you like, yes, honey, you are doing amazing. You're taking care of yourself. You know your worth. You're being mindful of your energy. You're surrendering also in that sense. You're surrendering, but not doing so in a reckless way. Like you're not giving up. You're surrendering to the flow of life, which is honestly one of the strongest things that you can do. Forge, don't follow. Pave a new path. Be the leader you wish you had. Exactly. This is all about like that very energy that I was mentioning at the beginning. You're forging your new path, and you're not being tied down to those like generational traumas that have been passed on to you. Like, this ends with me. I'm not going to keep. I'm not like, especially if you are considering having children. This of course is not going to resonate with everyone, but if you are someone who is going to have children, like either adopted or biological children, you are very well aware of the impact that you are going to have on this little new human, or like humans, if you are going to have any children indeed, and you are aware of the fact of how much parenting is going to influence these beings, and you really want to be the parent, I guess, be the leader you wish you had, and you want to make sure that essentially that your offspring or your children don't feel the way that you felt through your childhood. Like you want to empower them. You don't want to sort of like push them down and make them small, and you're aware of the energy that that's going to take, and you're very much mindful around this whole parenting thing, and you're not resentful probably towards your own parents, because you know that they did the best that they could with what they have, and with what they had and what they could. But you're definitely being aware of the fact that you have to be the one leading by example and being the person that you wish you had, essentially. Jump in, Andromedan energy, adventure, say yes to change. Again, like this whole change energy. There's been a lot of like, we have enough of these cards. A lot of change energy in these piles, but especially in this one. And this card, I believe the jump in, Andromedan energy was also present in one of the previous piles. What words of wisdom do we have for pile 4 at this time? What can serve pile 4 at this time? What do they need to know? What does pile 4 need to hear at this time? A lot of things. I guess we're just gonna take them all, because why not? So we have a discipline. I can accomplish what I set my mind to. Next we have acceptance. A lot of purple. Acceptance. I'm learning to accept the things that I cannot change. There you go. Yeah, that I'm peaceful. Like, you're not even trying to you know, persuade people of how right or wrong, how right you are and how wrong they are. You're just like letting things be. And that's also the surrender energy there. Like, you're just not trying to micromanage the universe. You're just like, listen, things are as they are, and people are on their own journey, and I'm on my own journey. It's all good. But also, I don't have to take all of the things that are being thrown at me, essentially. Perseverance. I know that I can do whatever I set my mind to. Very similar energy to this. Discipline. Look at all these purples. And next we have health. I will honor the physical vessel that enshrines my soul. And we love to hear that. Those don't need much explanation from me, I guess. Now, last but not least, let's see Moonology, what they have to say to you. Today, pile 4. Okay, Moonology, what messages do you have for pile 4? What does pile 4 need to hear at this time? What messages do we have for pile 4? So we have, what do you need to release, Waning Moon? Perhaps there might be still something that is holding you back. That's definitely interesting that had to come out. You're very close to achieving your goal. I would love to hear that. Whatever it is that you have your eye on, whatever manifestation you're working on currently. This card is here to tell you keep going because you're close. A new romantic cycle begins. New moon in Libra. There's definitely a lot of Libra energy in this pile for sure. A lot of Libra, but also Leo and just like fixed energies in general. What else does pile 4 need? Okay. We have your commitment is being tested. I think that really calls back to those like intrusive thoughts that I was mentioning earlier. Your commitment to your growth and to your change is being tested. Not that the universe is literally like, let's see if you're still stupid. I mean, I guess you could say the universe sometimes does that, but there's no way that you're going to fall back into like same traps as before, because you have changed so much and your vibration is just so completely different. Like, your change and your growth cannot be undone. And if you've been worried about that, like, that cannot happen, okay? Like, definitely this might be, I'm sensing a background energy of like, what if I freak up? What if I F up? What if this is all an illusion, and what if I fall back, and what if it all is for nothing, essentially? But this is not all for nothing. This is definitely paying off, and you have come so far already, and the universe really wanted to shed light on how much mental power you have, and how much how do I even say this? How much, mental power, like how much agency and willpower you have, and it's such a valuable asset to have. Like, this type of energy and attitude that you're in right now, if you resonate with this pile, like, this is going to let you achieve anything. Like, this is going to bring you so far, and this is going to, you can literally achieve anything that you want. Like, I can accomplish what I set my mind to, and I know that I can do whatever I set my mind to. Surrender, but also keep going, and like realize what it is that you can change, and what it is that is in your hands, and what it is that is not in your hands and not even yours to deal with. Okay, I think that is essentially what the universe wanted to let you know today. Besides the fact that you're doing freaking amazing. Okay, pile 4. Okay, pile 4. Thank you so much for watching. Definitely let me know in the comments down below, letting me know how this resonated. As it just really means a lot to me to know how these readings land on the other side of the screen, and I really hope that this brought you some type of insight or value, or something to work with, that it gave you some type of positive upliftment, as this was the goal of this reading. And also feel free to leave a like and subscribe, as it helps me with the algorithm. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!